Hey, what's up, my social distancing homies? Wow, that was bad. Whatever, let's just roll with it. So right now, it's supposed to be NAB. It would be taking place right now. RIP. So that means that we're going to be seeing some new gear, and it's going to be announced virtually over the next few days, and Canon is one of the first to come out of the gate swinging with a fresh new announcement that the C300 Mark III is now out. And as exciting as that camera is, it's getting overshadowed by the EOS R5. So I wanted to run through some of the crazy, unbelievable specs and give you my thoughts. I still can't believe that most of these are real. But then again, life doesn't even seem real right now anyway. So let's roll the specs. So let me preface that this new info from Canon is mainly just about video specs. There's still a lot we don't know about this camera. We don't have any idea what kind of sensors in it. It's not been confirmed. So these are some of the things that we already knew from the beginning about a month ago. So it's going to have 12 frames per second shooting with the mechanical shutter and up to 20 frames per second with the electronic shutter. We knew it was going to shoot full frame 8K video up to 30 frames per second. We knew it was going to shoot 4K video up to 120 frames per second. We knew it was going to have dual pixel IAF and animal IAF. We knew it was going to have IBIS. And these little specs here threw the entire camera world into a frenzy, and everyone was freaking out and going 8K video, 8K video. Meanwhile, most of these people probably won't even use 8K video, and 8K video is probably going to be 250 gigs for about 5 minutes of video. All right, so I'm going to move on to what Canon announced in the live stream. Internal 8K, 30 frames per second raw video recording. I'll come back to this in a minute. Internal 8K video up to 30 frames per second, 422 10-bit C-Log HDR PQ. Internal 4K 120 frames per second video, 422 10-bit C-Log HDR PQ, external 4K 60 video recording over HDMI, no crop 8K and 4K video recording using the full width of the sensor, dual pixel Cmos AAF available in 8K and 4K recording modes, C-Log available in 8K, 4K internal recording modes, and then we have the 5-axis in-body image stabilization that's going to work in conjunction with the stabilization inside the RF lenses and the EF lenses. Then we're going to have dual card slots, which we knew this was going to have, but we didn't know what ones. Now we know it's going to be one CF Express and one UHS-2 SD card slot. Okay, this is nuts. I feel like Canon threw everything into this camera and held nothing back, and that's why I kind of find these specs so unbelievable. If it wasn't even from their own mouths, I probably wouldn't believe it. They've left a lot out, there's no catches yet. It shoots 4K, it shoots 8K internal full frame raw video, but for how long? I don't see any fans in it. I don't see any vents, something like my C200 here gets super hot and it has a vent fan and, it's only shooting 4K raw. There's probably going to be some kind of a limit. I assume 5 minutes or something like that, but that's fine. It's going to be 250 gigs of video anyway. But I'm happy to see that they're adding internal RAW like the 1DX Mark III, and I assume it's going to be kind of the same file size as the 1DX Mark III. They didn't mention anything about Canon Cinema RAW Lite, which is what all the cinema cameras use. It's nice to see that they're including C-Log in the camera, where 8K and 4K, and I'm sure it'll have some awesome log assist feature that, kind of puts a LUT on top of it that helps you with exposing and focusing. I'm really curious to see how Canon's going to implement the IBIS, since they currently don't have any cameras made with it. And, they've certainly had a lot of years to perfect it, so I assume it'll be pretty good. And it's also nice to see that it's going to work with the lens OIS, which will also help with better stabilization. So that's all we know so far. They haven't really said much about the sensor. Like I mentioned before, we don't know how many megapixels it's going to be. Rumors are saying it's going to be beyond 40 megapixels, which makes sense because you need at least 36 megapixels to get 8K. We don't know what the low light performance is going to be like. We don't know if it's going to have dual native ISO. They haven't really given us any indication even on what the price is going to be. And a lot of people are saying it's going to be around $3,500 USD, which I don't know how it will be. But, Canon's saying this is like a 5D camera, and they usually come in at around that price. That's basically what I paid for my 5D Mark IV here back in 2017. So I assume maybe it will be around that price. It just seems crazy that they're dumping so much stuff into this camera. I feel like this is the revolution that they were talking about when they came out with the EOS R. And, it's going to be big. It's going to be a big camera. Not in size, but just it's going to be big. You know what I'm saying. But I have tons of EF glass, and, this camera makes sense. It makes sense to replace my 5D Mark IV. I'm planning to get one once I can work again and get some jobs. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited about this camera? Are you planning to buy one? Let me know what you think. Or are you going to be waiting for the A7S III to see what Sony's going to come out with? But that's all I got in this video. Thanks for watching it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give it a thumbs down twice. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Don't forget to wash your hands. I'll see you guys in the next one.